All right, moving right along. Before we get into our rights and the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the other amendments after the Bill of Rights that we've added on hand, and we go over what your rights actually are.
That's how winning is
Because you
done.
can't fucking live in this world sovereign if you don't know what your rights are. Because if you don't know what your rights are, you don't know what they can and can't get away with, and you don't know what you can't or you do and you can and cannot fucking argue. And it's just that's how knowing is half the battle. You know, GI Joe. G.I. Joe! There's a reason why they said knowing is half the battle.
Winning.
But we're going to go into the Texas Democrats. The first warrant was issued for the Democrat. He came back to try and get what the Democrats wanted. The Republicans were having nothing of it. And then he asked to leave, and they said, yeah, just come back. And he fled again. I mean, of course he fled again, but you know, it is like I wouldn't have let him left. I thought, what happened to not letting him leave? Well, now you have an actual warrant for your arrest. Issue the other warrants, Texas. Warrant all of them assholes.
That's how winning is done.
All of them. I mean, I think that we should take them into the nearest public square like the Constitution intended, because they're all treasonous assholes.
That's how winning is done.
But it is what it is. I mean, we can't really afford war, but we can't really avoid war. Fucking, it's coming. China, we're probably all going to be speaking fucking Chinese. It is what it is. Because this global fascism is on the rise, and there's never been a time in history where global fascism had to be like was unfucked by anything other than war. So it is what it is. Speaker Don Felon signed civil Felon. I probably butchered that name. Signed civil arrest warrant for Texas House Democrat to return to Washington. The warrant to apprehend State Representative Philip Cortez is the first one signed by the Speaker since more than 50 House Democrats left the state to block Republicans from having a quorum needed to pass legislation during the special legislation session. You should have over 50 fucking, if there's over 50 Democrats, then you should have over 50 warrants.
That's how winning is done.
Period. Put your money where your mouth is, Abbott. Put your fucking money where your mouth is. It's time these people have real consequences to their treasonous actions. Sign up for the brief, our daily newsletter that keeps readers up to speed by most essential Texas news. And by taking to the nearest public square and real consequences, I don't mean we should be just murdering these people like fucking fascists. I mean they should be arrested. They should be given a military tribunal for treason against these United States and the Constitution and failure to do their job. And then the appropriate punishment should be applied.
That's how winning is done.
Texas House Speaker Dade Felon, Republican Vermont, signed a civil warrant for the arrest of State Representative Philip Cortez, a San Antonio Democrat who rejoined his colleagues in Washington, D.C. on Sunday to help prevent the passage of Gobbs-backed election bill. These fucking people are now asking for, like, send me shampoos and candies and things like that because we're in D.C., we can't come back here. You make more money than most of these people you're asking to fucking buy your own goddamn candy, you treasonous piece of trash.
You
suck. The warrant is likely to have an impact since Texas law enforcement lacks jurisdiction outside the state. It is the first one signed by the Speaker since more than 50 House Democrats left the state to block Republicans from having the quorum needed to pass legislation during the special legislative session that begins early this month. Last week, Cortez returned to Austin from Washington in what he said was an attempt to engage in good faith dialogue about House Bill 3, the election legislation. All Democrats criticized Cortez's move, saying that the lawmaker did the first consult with them before returning to Austin. He shouldn't have been allowed to leave. I thought they were going to get locked in the fucking building if they returned. He returned. You should have locked him in the building. You let him leave. What did you think was going to happen? The Democrats may be evil, treasonous, duplicitous pieces of human trash, but the fucking Republicans are fucking spineless, weak cowards. You're feckless cowards.
You suck.
By Sunday, through Cortez was backed by Washington, saying in a statement that tells with lawmakers in Austin on negotiating the legislation have not produced progress. In a statement Monday, Felon said that the Cortez has irrevocably broken my trust and the trust of this chamber. He did that when they left the first time. I'm not sure why you gave the trust back to him, you feckless, weak coward.
You suck.
After the lawmaker represented to me and his fellow members that he wanted to work on policy to find solutions to bring his colleagues back to Tennessee, there's no working on the policy. We've already given them too much. They won't compromise with us. There is no compromise with them. If that results in war, so fucking be it. Stack bodies. They're going to initiate the first attack. They're the fascist communist trash. It happens every single fucking time. Just look at history. It's going to happen. They're going to start killing people. As a condition of being granted permission to temporarily leave the House floor, Representative Cortez promised his House colleagues that he would return. The Speaker said instead he fled the state. Big fucking surprise, right? Cortez, who chairs the House, excuse me, damn, No, I don't have the coof. No Hanukkah plague here. Cortez, who chairs the House Democrat Urban Affairs Committee, did not directly address the warrant in a statement Monday that said he owes a duty to my constituents to do everything I can to stop this harmful legislation. What, a harmful legislation that gives you more time to vote, makes your voting more secure? Yeah, fuck off, you fucking piece of shit. You just don't want to lose your power because you stole the god. I'm not going to go any further there because this will get taken down. I will continue fighting for my constituents to ensure fair and full access to the ballot box, he said. All Texas deserve nothing less. Later Monday, during a virtual meeting with reporters, State Rep. Jimmy Murphy, a House Republican who chairs the House caucus, did not express any frustration with Cortez returning to Washington, and he said he hoped the lawmaker would return to Austin again. Other Republicans applauded Felon for signing the warrant, including Representative Jeff Leach of Piano, who had questioned the night before why Cortez wasn't arrested before leaving the state. That's how fucking winning is done. This Jim Murphy dude sounds like a fucking jackass. Like, I thought most of you were weak and feckless. At least Felon is now fucking doing anything, even though it had to take until he felt personally fucking attacked or whatever, instead of fucking doing it for the Texas people. But it is what it is. After the Democrats left the state, the House voted overwhelmingly to issue what is known as the Call of the House. In an effort to regain quorum, part of that effort included sending law enforcement after those Democrats. The Republican acknowledged that the state authorities couldn't force lawmakers back to the Texas Capitol so as long as they remained on the state. The current special session is slated to end August 6th, and Democrats have said that they do not plan to return to the state before then. Governor Abbott has said he plans to call an additional special session to get his priority legislation passed. You should just pass it without them.
Winning.
They're refusing to do their job. Sign a bill into law right now, nullifying their authority, and sign the bill into law. Hold a special election to replace them. That's how fucking winning is done. We can't, they shouldn't stop their pay. Fucking stop being feckless, spineless cowards. Stop their pay. Issue arrest warrants, not a return to the house call. Issue arrest warrants.
That's how winning is done.
Fire them. Stop their pay.
That's how winning is done.
Hold a special election to replace them. They don't deserve the job if they're not going to do the job. I'm just fucking saying. And if you're not going to do your job, and you're not going to do things like that, and you can continue to be feckless, spineless cowards, you deserve the same fucking treatment. I'm just fucking saying. American people have had enough. You work for us. It's time for you to do what we want. And we want this mess unfucked, and we want this mess unfucked right now. I'm just fucking saying.